Welcome to this week's America with an Accent. We have entered the holiday season here in the United States. Thanksgiving, celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November, marks the beginning of the year season. If you are a newcomer to the United States, chances are Thanksgiving is new to you. Out of 195 countries of our world, Thanksgiving is observed by only 8 of them, and only other 4 have a holiday similar to Thanksgiving. What is celebrated on this day, also known as Turkey Day? What is a tradition? What is on the menu, besides turkey, of course? Teresa and Richard Guinan of Omaha let us film the Feast of Thanksgiving in their house. It is not the first time, though, that they welcome people originally from other countries in their place. They gave shelter to Fortesa and Gazment Ademi, 2 Kosovo Albanians who came over to Omaha as war refugees back in the summer of '99. Today, we take you inside the Guinan household to share with you the day of thanks, prayers, hospitality, and above all, humanity. The day of us all. My Thanksgiving dinner celebration started rather early in the day, at 1:30 in the afternoon, at a nice house on Bernadette Avenue in suburban Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a kitchen guest of Teresa Guinan, a daughter, sister, wife, mother of 5, grandmother of 3, and a great cook.
I'm a pediatric nurse. I work for Boys Town Pediatrics. I've been with them for 25 years. We've been in this home for 27 years. We lived in Midtown prior to that, and we enjoyed living there, but we needed something larger as our family got larger. But it never once crossed my mind to move away from Omaha, which amazes me, and I'm so in awe of you, Fortes and Gaz, what you guys have done.
Later, we will come back to those 2 names, Gaz and Fortes. For now, let us just say that Teresa is preparing dinner for 15 people today.
We will be eating today the exact same menu that my mother has made for 50 plus years: turkey, dressing, candied sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes and gravy, creamed peas, pumpkin pie, and with whipped cream. And it's always the same thing. Oh, and rice and broccoli casserole, which is about a new addition 25 years ago.
That's nice. So, do you have a special recipe for turkey?
No, I just rinse it, take it out of the package, rinse it. I put it in the oven. I baste it as it cooks, and that's it. And I don't think it's so much about the turkey as it is about the other dishes. Actually, now I cook a lot of my dishes ahead of time. My mashed potatoes I cook, which are right here. I made those a couple of days ago, and then just heat them through in the crock pot. My gravy I made a couple of weeks ago. I roasted turkey wings and made it and put it in the freezer. So today is more, I'm able to relax more with my family instead of just being in the kitchen all day long cooking. So really today, all I'm cooking from scratch is the turkey, which went in this morning, this, and that's it.
As a person who likes to cook myself, I try to be as little interruptive of Teresa's labor of love as possible. However, I couldn't hold myself back to tell her that sweet potatoes were a novelty to me when I came to America. She was even more surprised when I told her that I had never tasted peanut butter before I came here either.
Really?
After stuffing
So
was ready,
now,
sweet potatoes in the oven, and mashed potatoes and gravy warming up, it was time to bring out the peas. We all
things
have
back
to
in
have
the
our
oven and
peas,
complete the
right?
cooking. Now these are the peas that Fortes loves.
Teresa swears that they are really good. She makes them for
And then
Fortes.
add about
Again,
a
later
cup
on
of
for
milk.
Tesa.
It begins to thicken.
While Teresa cleans her station for preparing the appetizers, daughter Annie, the only one on site at the moment, gives the final touches to the two dining tables. There are no seats assigned, but I bet the youngsters will pick the one by the TV. Part of the Thanksgiving tradition, besides lot of food, is to watch the morning parade on TV. The Guinan family prefers the Chicago parade instead of Macy's in New York. They record the parade, and family members watch it while dinner gets ready. Annie and her boyfriend Drew are doing just that, enjoying the parade.
Your favorite holiday? Thanksgiving and Halloween. Thanksgiving because it's just food and family, and there's not a lot of decorating you need to do, and there's no gifts. I mean, it's all it is food and family and friends. And I think that's why I like it so much. There's much less stress involved with Thanksgiving. And it is a wonderful holiday because we do have an awful lot to be thankful for. My family's health. We've been very lucky. We are 5 children, our 3 grandchildren. They, we've been lucky enough that they've always been healthy and able to lead normal lives. And that's, to me, that's the biggest gift that we have ever or could ever receive.
In fact, Thanksgiving for Teresa is so much about family that I would like to share with you her cranberry sauce story.
My father's 93, my mother's 87, and they live about 15 minutes from here. They normally come for holidays, but my mother has been she has some health issues, and she's been a little bit more uncomfortable, so they decided to stay home. But my husband will run Thanksgiving dinner out to them. Dad is cooking something, I don't know what it is, but oh, this is cranberry sauce. And none of my kids, I think I might be the only person that ever eats any of this on Thanksgiving. But it's nice to have with turkey. It's the only time of the year I ever buy it. And I probably only buy it because my mom and dad always had it at our holiday dinners. But I do always love this one because this was my mother-in-law's dish. And I think it always looks so pretty with cranberries in it. And I loved my mother-in-law. So anyway.
For the record, cranberry is another food item that was new to me when I moved to America. Tradition is the word of the day, so much so that the last 2 items, both appetizers, have to go. Cheese on that green plate.
This plate is not used for anything else.
And celery must be filled with only one kind of cream cheese.
Same thing. Green olives, black olives, sweet pickles, and celery with this stuffing or this cream cheese stuff. Only this will do. And if this is not available, my family is very sad. If my mom were here, my mom would be sitting at the counter. She'd be doing this. Before, when she was in better health, she'd be making the gravy and doing everything else. So things have kind of changed. And then I'm assuming that there'll be a day when one of my daughters decides that she'd like to start doing the holiday dinner.
At 2:45, other family members started descending into the family room. Son Joe had joined his sister Annie and Drew in watching the parade, while the man of the house, Mr. Richard, or Dick as everybody calls him, had joined the kitchen. His personality is larger than life.
It's good. So, there's something missing.
Pepper?
Besides Annie and Joe, the Guinans have 3 more adult children, one in Boston, one in California, and another daughter here in Omaha, but she's not here today because she just had a baby. All kids will be here for Christmas.
This is Tommy Turkey.
He gave his life.
He gave his life so we could be
At
thankful
3:09, turkey and everything else is ready. And right about that time, Theresa's sister, Lynette, her husband Dan, and daughter Claire arrived. Their son had an engagement till 4 o'clock and will be joining the family shortly. Sister Lynette and family brought even more food. They shared their latest news and teased each other just like a good, funny family should. At 3:30, the Ademis arrived.
Oh, you look so nice.
Forteza and Gazmend Ademi brought Lali, Gazmend's brother, who is visiting from Feriza, Kosovo, and their 3 children, daughter Ada and sons Ed and Argent. Forteza and Gazmend are 2 very good friends of mine and 2 almost children of Teresa and Dick Guinan. They are the reason why I'm here in the Guinan house today. I borrowed those 4 from the rest of the family while waiting on nephew Dan to arrive. In spring of '99, Forteza and Gazmend were Kosovo War refugees camped in Skopje, Macedonia. The very young couple, along with another couple, Valbona and Basri, who have relocated somewhere else, made it to United States because of the Guinan family. Made it to Omaha because of a human calling, so moving to describe. How did you get involved in this program to bring war refugees over?
I listened very carefully to my wife, whatever she wants to do. I get that. She had talked to me about it, but it was her idea.
We've been watching on the news, we were glued to the news, about the refugees, about the war, and then they made the announcement that the United States was going to take 20,000 refugees. And I said to my husband, which will tell you what kind of a man he is, me knowing that I could ask him this, I said, well, why don't we sponsor a family? And he said, okay. And so then we got in touch with Senator Hagel's office, and then they got us in touch with the Refugee Center, or the association.
Oh, this is how it happened. It was through the senator's office. Chuck Hagel?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Did you know anything about the procedures?
No. We knew nothing.
She was bored. We had 3 little kids, a middle-aged kid, 2 dogs, and we needed more help.
We had no idea what was involved, but we wanted to do something.
So it was just news. You were inspired by news, and that was your main reason.
Yes.
And, do you remember any particular report that
Yes.
has? Can you please share that detail with us?
Well, it was the report. I apologize. Look for Kleenex.
I left the interview to grab a few tissues.
It was the neutral zone in Bloco.
And
Can you please repeat this?
oh, I'm sorry. We had seen on the news that one day they were still. It was in the
It
neutral
was the
zone.
neutral zone between the border.
There were
between
thousands
Macedonia
of them, if I recall.
Yes. Yes.
And it was, and they were not to safety yet. But then, well, and then the next day, They were gone.
The report was that.
Yeah, they were gone,
died.
and initially they had the reports were they're gone, and they did not know where they had gone. So.
And that was right there, that moment. It was your desire to invite someone and host in your family
To do something.
To do something. How did it happen? How did that happen? Can you please tell us a little bit? What was it? A phone call? I understand that there was the office of the senator involved. But what did you guys do?
It was
Teresa
easy.
did most of the legwork. She put herself on, got a hold of, was it the consulate or?
No, Chuck Hagel's office.
Chuck
They
Hagel's
got
office
us-
gave us the name of a gal that was assisting in relocations. And Teresa contacted her and said we would.
Oh, it's Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Lydia.
we were interested in hosting the family. And of course, it was our understanding that the family was, there was no definition of what a family was going to be. We were thinking it was two people, man and wife or whatever. And so we tell the partner about and it kind of, we just put it on the back burner. They said, well, we'll get back to your names on a list. We didn't really expect it to happen. I didn't expect it to happen.
How long did it take from that phone call till you received the next phone call to let you know that they're coming?
Well, it was a number of weeks, if not.
5, 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was quite a long time.
Where we had forgotten about it.
No.
I had, not Teresa, but I had forgotten. Well, this ain't gonna, this ain't gonna work out.
And Liddy had been here and visited the house to make sure that there was adequate room, and we had to have. There was a stipulation. We couldn't do it as private citizens. We had to have, like, our church had to be on board with it, a larger group. And so I talked to Father Bob and said, I just need sort of this in, I don't expect you to do anything. So Lydia called and said she wasn't sure that the two young couples were coming. And for the life of me, I don't recall why she thought that, but my understanding was that you weren't necessarily coming, but if you did, you'd be coming in on a TWA,
Well, can you please tell us what is
TWA?
TWA?
Trans World Airlines, that's the airline, but which is kind of odd now that I say that, because why would she have told me that if you weren't? Anyway, so my understanding was they weren't going to come, probably. So, this was a Wednesday, I think. On Friday at 10 o'clock, my cell phone rang and it was Lydia, and Lydia said, they will be here tonight at like 7:15. And actually, Joe was at summer school. I was in the hallway at his little school. I pulled him out of class. I'm like, we're going home. We raced home, got on the phone. Dick called some friends. We had to move all the kids into one bedroom and then get, because we just had twin beds upstairs, get double beds for each couple so they had their own room. And the kid down the street came up and mowed the yard, and we had people that went and got groceries. And so within 7 hours, we were ready to go. And then we went to the airport.
While the Guinans in Omaha were getting ready to meet the guests, the couples were crossing the ocean via Greece, New York, St. Louis, with final destination Omaha. How old were you guys?
Oh, don't even ask.
Little bitty pup.
Yeah, we're a little bit well, I was 21 and a half.
They were.
She was 18. But we flew to New York, and then, of course, all the way to New York. You got all the Albanian refugees. So you're not afraid. You're not scared because there's so many of them. And then from there, they split in different groups. So all of a sudden, the big group just shrank. And then from there, from New York, we flew to St. Louis. We flew to St. Louis, and it was still a larger group. And then in St. Louis, Actually, no. Yeah, we did. But when we were flying to St. Louis, it was me and her. She could barely get her head up, and it was this lady. She was sitting next to me, so we started having conversation. We were speaking in English, and she's like, she asked me. She said, you know, that was one of the kind of the experience that. She said, how did you learn English? And I said, I learned from movies and music with the eagle.
Yeah, there you go.
What is the eagle?
So I'll tell you the story in a little bit. But she said, so we started, and when we left there, she said, I'll make sure that you find somebody who will take care of you in St. Louis. And she gave me $20. She pulled $20 and she said, this is for you and your wife when she feels bad to go and watch a movie. And she sit with us until one of those guys who work for the immigration picked us up, take us to our own airline, our own gate, I guess. And then, but when we split there, it was just us. It was just me, her, and the other couple. And that's when you really feel like, okay,
Yeah, can you
where are we
describe
going
it?
now? This is the end of the world. It's
Did
too
you know-
far. We don't know anymore what's happening.
Did
So-
you know? Did you know what was your final destination? Did you know that you
No,
were?
we didn't know anything about Omaha. Teresa, her name, Teresa Guinan, to be honest, at that time on a book, because you're tired, you're everything. I didn't even think that's a person. I think maybe that's the name of like an organization. Like I didn't even know that's her name. So because we, you know, like you don't have that much information when you come from there. You know, they come in, they tell you go in this date, blah blah blah. You know, and then here's your paperwork, and you take all this bag. I have the bag still at home. You take the bag with a whole bunch of papers. Which one you're gonna look? You know, it's like you don't. And I did speak some English. For somebody else, would have been just blank. So we got on the plane, and the whole time we're traveling, on my head is like, okay, now when we land, because they said this is your final destination. The guy that was helping us out said that's where you're going. That's your final stop. My whole mindset was like, okay, we're gonna get out and we're gonna sleep somewhere. So my train of thought was like, I gotta find a garbage can somewhere with the boxes of paper,
Yeah.
so I can
Or sleep in the airplane.
sleep somewhere, make a spot to sleep. So that
There
was
you
my
go.
whole,
Oh my
my whole, and she couldn't even get her head up. So I'm just going through this. My mind is running the whole time. And because the other couple was further back, and we're sitting there, and of course, first time traveling with airplane, everything is first time. So there's no phones, no computers back at that time. So when we got off the plane here in Omaha, we come out, and here's Mr. Dick, here's Miss
Yeah.
Teresa, here's the kids with flowers, and there's reporters, and we're all like, what's going on? Like we
Yeah.
have no idea.
Miss Teresa, how did they know about the news reporters and the television,
I
local
think
television
Lydia-
station? Lydia
Lydia
put that
told
together.
them.
Okay.
Because it was just us and our kids that went.
I understand that you had only 7 hours to think about them, but did you ever wonder how do they look? Or ever thought that, what am I doing? What are we doing? Inviting.
What's actually my sign language? How are we going to talk to you? I'm thinking that could be
Yeah.
maybe somebody speaks English. Who
Yeah.
knows?
It just never really,
You never thought of any
No,
problems.
yeah.
It's just
No.
like, let's just.
we're just going to do it. It's just going to happen.
So they appeared. What was your feeling?
Oh, just so happy for them. And poor Fortes was so tired and sick. And I kind of thought the reporters were intrusive. And
Push it.
yeah. And I know they wanted to get the story,
Yeah.
but they were just exhausted. So we just kind of swooped them out, got them in the car, and came home, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because you're tired, it doesn't compute, And he's always so joyful and so funny and so, And I remember, and I tell everybody the story when he put his arm around and he said, come on, we got to go. Because the reporters were asking us questions. And I remember, I just told him, I told him over there, like today when he put his arm, he's like, come on, let's go. And she picked up Fortesa and we put in, and Buster and Valbona, all four of us, we just went and it's like, and you come
I'm
home.
home.
You
Yeah.
come home, you come in and you're like, all of this I mean, anybody can say, but I know I didn't think of it not 1 second. Not 1 second would I have thought it would come to the house, to our own bedroom that they had made ready. And then you wake up next morning, because that day is still, you wake up next morning and it's like, you just can't even describe it, really. It's just something for us that young.
And what a handsome couple they were.
I wanted you to describe to me your first impression when you saw, besides being exhausted, what was it to have 4 foreigners in your house?
Well, they were so young. I mean,
Very.
it's like the age of some of our kids,
Yes.
practically.
Yes, Megan?
Yeah,
I think the same age as me.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, it was like having just 4 more kids, though.
it wasn't.
Really?
It wasn't a concern. And Teresa, you weren't working. You were staying at home. So
At the time.
Teresa was a stay-at-home mom, and I mean, she just couldn't find enough to do. So we had 3 little ones. And of course,
she
they
was
were all
all
excited.
I remember.
So it was, they assimilated it like it was
Yes.
just no transition.
Exactly, you did.
Then it became little details.
Yeah. How do you bond the way that you have bonded without even knowing each other from two different parts of
We
the
laughed a
world?
lot. Tell
We
the story
did.
about the eagle.
Yeah. They ask questions, we ask questions, like a lot of questions. You just keep going, like always, because they're interested, we're interested both. But we were talking one day, and it was they were asking about our flag. So I was trying to tell them our flag is an eagle, and I could not
Because I knew
remember.
it was a dragon.
Yeah, and I could
Wow.
not remember the eagle. I spoke English, but I wasn't. So I could not remember the eagle, and I was trying to. And so I said, "Welcome to the hotel." And like eagle, I said, "Yeah, it's an
No,
eagle."
no, so I didn't get it. And he
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
Well, it was something like it, but I sing the song because I wanted to relate something, and then it's like eagles. It's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's an eagle. So, every day or something like that. Like, from that time, Shumir, he always remembered. So of course it's harder for them. Especially for me because I did speak English, but that's.
And Fortes would cook.
Yep, spits on my wall.
Oh my gosh, that was
Eggs
delicious.
and peppers.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yes. So it was. I think them being so young.
It was just a natural fit.
Yeah, it was a perfect fit.
Yeah. And if you look back, this year's going to be 20 years this summer. What have you guys gained from this experience?
Well, them and their family.
They're part of the crew. This is why we have Thanksgiving. This is why they're here.
And
it was a good deal for us. Probably a better deal for us than it was for them. I mean, actually,
Oh no, and that's
we both think we got a pretty good deal. It was a good.
We wiped our tears away and headed back to eat. Nephew Dan had arrived, but first the prayer
that was so cool.
and the joke.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Okay, guests, plates are there.
Let's go to foreigners.
You can,
Come on down. You're first.
He's the freshest
you're the freshest.
The last one to treat themselves were the reason of this all, Mr. and Mrs.
What is it
Dinah.
you're
I enjoyed watching the family being just that, a happy, thankful family. Soon I would take off to join my Russian side of the family and friends. We celebrated Thanksgiving with turkey and shuba, Russian salad. If John Lennon would have been alive that day, I would have given him a call. We don't need to imagine any longer, John, I would have told him. At least for one moment, the world was all as one. Although Mr. Guinan stole the show.
I don't want to join me.
I don't want to go anymore.
Happy
I'd rather
holidays.
hang around picking daily off the ground, living off theories of a highborn lady.
And now it is time for letters to Andy. Dear Andy, greetings from Omaha. Hope this note finds you feeling well, especially after Thanksgiving. I feel a little heavier with all that food I ate. I think Thanksgiving may compete with New Year's when it comes to my favorite holiday. If New Year's joyfully marks a new beginning, the hope of tomorrows, and thank God there is hope, Thanksgiving imposes a quiet moment on me so I could appreciate what I have been given today. A good celebration. I read that Thanksgiving was not an easy day to agree upon, to a surprise, I must say, because it is a good day. It took at least 4 presidents and 3 centuries to agree on who celebrated Thanksgiving first and Observance Day. Nevertheless, what I appreciate from all this story is, first of all, the practical spirit of the American people, and second, the lesson that good deeds are hard to achieve, but they last forever. I love how America has made it easy to remember holidays. Most of them are listed as the day of the week as opposed to the date of the month. Memorial Day, Labor Day, Martin Luther King's Day, and so on, they all have a day of the week assigned, mostly Mondays, instead of a number. Simply celebrate. I appreciate that. I also appreciate that I have finally started to root, the hardest thing to achieve for an immigrant, in my opinion. The place did not make a difference. See, Andy, I used to joke that you could throw me anywhere, even up in the North Pole, and I would still survive. I had no roots. My people have made the difference. My parents, Bukri and Enkela Vehbiu, and my in-laws, Lydia and Victor Krasnoslobodsev, remind me of my old roots. However, my Omaha parent figures, Helen and Steve Jordan, father figure, late Dr. Steve Pasnak, and mother figures, Edith Treadwell and Debra Quignon, all 3 from the El Paso, Texas and Las Cruces, New Mexico area, they all remind me that yes, I may have left my biological families behind, but I sure have found my American family here. And guess what, Andy? 4 of my 5 mother figures love jewelry. I'm wearing my brooch today in their honor. Happy holiday season to you and your family. Till next time, Enkela. Happy holiday season. I am Enkela Vehbiu.